Hey folks, thought I would start the day one, like in the show, not the on the water. Watch that video if you haven't already, but at the Torqeedo booth. I'm working here as a pro staffer, not an employee, but I've talked Torqeedo for 7 years straight, it seems, so I'm going to point the camera at Trey Leach, who's a really great top-selling Torqeedo dealer for many years. He's going to talk to us about the new kayak motor.
So this year, Torqeedo redid their travel line. And behind us here, we've got the new travel series of motors, but they've also redone the Torqeedo Ultralight, which is now the travel Ultralight. We have it set up here on the Osprey, and I'm going to start from the throttle and work my way back to explain, what's new and what's different. So the first thing you'll notice is the throttle is completely different. The way it looks, the shape, everything is different. Similar to the old throttle, you just push and hold to get it to come on. But as you can see right now, it's backlit, which is awesome. Like for those low light conditions, when you're on the water early or late, you don't have to hold a flashlight to it like we used to. There's a few more features to it. You can see the handle now is a solid handle. You're not going to hook anything on it. And then you've got your buttons here that you can switch between different throttles, or it's different screens where it shows you different things on the throttle. This is the one I tend to like the most because it gives you the most information. You got miles per hour, your battery percentage, RPMs, which is a new one, your watt draw, and then you've got your battery scale in the middle, and it has your miles until the battery is empty, and then now it has minutes, which before, I think it was the old throttle, you could switch to miles until it was empty or minutes. Now you have both of those readouts, and I like that because it's all in one there. You have all the readouts that it has in one. The magnet's a little different now, sits down in there just like that, and it's a really smooth throttle. Engages a little bit better than the old one. Then your throttle cable now, you have a disconnect here, so it's not it's not real long coming off the pigtail off of the throttle itself, and then it comes back, and then you have like an intermediate cord here that is like an extension, and then it comes back, and then it goes into your motor cable, and the throttle, this is how it hooks into your battery with one connection now instead of two. And then now your new connection, it's a quarter turn. Hold on, let me turn the throttle off. Push and hold. Okay, so now instead of the threads like the old one had, it's a quarter turn, and then it comes right out. It's a much more robust plug than what the old one was, and everything, one connection going into the battery instead of two. So then you line it back up, it can only go in one way, you push it down, and then it's a quarter turn, and you feel a little click, and you know it's in there, it's secure, it's not going anywhere. The cable going to your motor now, it's much bigger than the old one. It's much more secure. It protects the wires inside. You follow that on back, and then it has this, I guess we're going to call it like a grommet or a guard, but it stops from the extreme bending of the cord where it comes out of the top of the pylon, and it protects this from being bent in one position and breaking that cable, which is the source of some of the issues with the 1103. So they fixed that with this setup. You can obviously see aluminum steering triangle with a plastic clamp, so that's been upgraded. Don't have to worry about hitting stuff with your feet on the on the foot peg steering it and breaking these ears off. You don't have to worry about that anymore. Much more sturdy. Your carabiner clips are just like the old ones here, but they've upgraded your motor raise up here to a more of an oval shaped one, which makes it easy to get in and out. And you'll see also we've got a stainless steel pulley system here with a brass pulley inside of it. This is something that a lot of people would buy aftermarket and put it on their kayak, and now Torqeedo provides it with the motor kit, which is really nice. The mount is the same as the 1103 mount, so everything there is the same. The raised cord, the reverse leg, all that stuff is the same. the motor head is a little bit different, and the profile you'll see is a little bit different. The prop is a little different as well, and it comes with an anode so that if you run in salt water, that anode is supposed to help protect it. So something a little different there. So the skeg is removable, but the skeg is also, it's plastic, but it's flexible, and you can take this thing and bend it. It's not going to break. It'll hit on stuff. You don't have to worry about chipping it. It's just much more durable. So this thing's pretty wild. I don't know what the material is, but it's really neat. As far as battery options, so this battery right here is the travel battery. The only difference is the two prongs here where it hooks into the travel motor. They have a 1080 watt option and a 1425 watt option. So you're actually buying the motor now and then making a decision on what battery you want to buy. So the battery is separate. So if you want the motor with the 1080 watt battery, you're looking at about 3,000, and then there's a 1425 watt hour battery, and that one's about 3,500 with the motor. A lot of new good things that came with this. Cut out, it's all the little things that makes this motor just that much better. All the little things that, you know, that we've wanted them to fix, that we've, you know, pretty much fixed on our own when we were doing installs, but now it comes with it, so it makes it nice.
Appreciate you doing that run through, and I'm ready to walk the show. I've worked here, you know, worked the booth here for 3 hours. Let's go see what else is going on out in the rest of ICAST 2024.
Yep.
You gonna walk with me?
Oh yeah.
All right, cool. So I wanted to show this to you. This is something I actually saw at Dugout down in Marietta, Georgia. A really cool way to set up forward-facing sonar on a kayak. Tell me about your product.
All right. We got a forward-facing that pivots up. You lock it down. You get ready to fish. You just pivot it back down.
Very clean. That sounded pretty solid in its...
Solid, very solid. Snaps right into place. Positive stop from both positions. 360-degree turn on your pivot pole.
Right.
You can lock that down in the location when you find where you want it to be.
Yep.
You can also unscrew this little screw here, and you can move your handle to your position you would like for it to be.
Gotcha.
We've got our wiring inside the hole so you don't have wire ties going around everything.
Nice.
You can also let you can let it up and down to your liking.
Yep.
So that the pivot pole is to where you like for it to be. In the up position, you can take these screws off here, lay it over in the inside, put the screws back on for traveling.
Yep.
So you can travel where you
Or
want
if
to
you're
go.
diving through some brush and other nasty snag areas where you don't want this can just
Or if you're just putting it on your trailer to take home.
Gotcha.
The mounts on the inside, the rocks and stuff don't come up and hit it.
Very cool. Thank you for showing that.
Right,
I know that Dugout happens to be well stocked.
There you go. Dugout has a lot of
He
product.
bought like, Jamie bought your first how many?
Our first run, 50.
Yeah.
Bought our first run, yeah.
Nice. Awesome. So if someone isn't near Georgia and they want to find, obviously you guys ship direct.
They can go
What's the best way to get in touch with you guys?
They can call Jamie at Dugout, or they can call go on our website,
Right.
tekhub-usa.com.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Probably don't want to show. You want me to show any product? Or just talk?
That's what we're doing.
Okay, let me
Isn't
just
that
grab.
what we do at ICAST? Is we show product?
Let
Like
him
you
grab
show
something else.
product.
Nothing.
You show product. John hasn't learned yet. I hit record and this happens. You got to be ready to catch the ball, right? All right.
So
John's going to show us really, and I've had my hands on it. It's a retractor that has a lot of strength, and I asked some questions about where it was made in the U.S. and what the material was, you know, in terms of how long it's going to hold up. And he starts grinning real big, and I know that he believes in his product, that it's a tough retractor. Go ahead.
Well, thank you. So we make Gear Keeper retractable tethers. Our start happened 30 years ago in the scuba industry. Made for underwater, made for saltwater, high break strength materials, special flushing system so you can put it in water, operate it, it's going to clean itself out. Our business is a lot in industrial, so we're made for everyday usage. And our big key is what we call application specific. So it's not a retractor used for whatever you want, it's something for a net and a gaff, or for a rod, or for pliers, or for your phone. Special attachments, mounting options, the right retraction force. It's just a product that works. Right tool for the job is what we'd like to say.
Very cool. Thanks for sharing that with me.
All right, thanks for the opportunity.
Gear Keeper. Hey folks, I'm here with Zeke at the Daiwa booth and saw actually my favorite reel. The Certate. This is actually the one I been using for my jig rod, and it's actually the one I got used to catch that personal best smallmouth, that 7-pounder, real smooth. If you can tell me a little bit about this reel for my viewers.
Yeah, so one of the main things you notice first is it has the MQ body. So when you say Certate MQ, what's that? That's called the monocoque body. So what that does, it allows to have bigger gears inside enclosed in this space right here. So two things, like I said, it's enclosed, it has bigger gears. So what's that mean? That means less torque when you're reeling in that big smallmouth, big largemouth, whatever. It has a lot less torque and a lot more gear power. Also, it's mag sealed. Now, a couple other ones that we want to talk about, possibly. One I use a lot personally is the Tatula MQ. Same thing, has a monocoque body, bigger gears. Inside it has the air drive system, mag sealed as well, and it's just an awesome price point as well. And that's the one I use.
Awesome. Thanks, Zeke.
Yes, sir.
So I saw what looks like either a vertical jigging. You said it's almost like you fish it like a spoon, but it looks like a rattle trap, but it's silent. I'll let you talk about.
Yeah. Hi. This is Simcoe 75 heavyweight. I don't think it's any other company make like this size and this heavy. I mean, if you guys want fish like 40-foot water, this is gone. Like, you get the bottom so quick, and then this skinny profile catch a lot of water, and then you can feel the vibration and then the actions, and make a lot of bite. And yeah, we use the Ichikawa Kamakir hook, like it's really sticky sharp, and you can also the retrieve and yo-yo, whatever you want. And
for the vertical jigging, you're mostly using that
yes,
center.
Yes.
The line tag that's further back.
Yep. Right.
And then if you're pendulum swinging it, or if you're fishing shallower, you move forward one.
Like if you fish like a mid-range, like a 8-foot or 12-foot bank, maybe just front eye is better, because it's a keep the bait as sweet range, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I mean, small little details. I mean, like just change your, you know, catching fish, you know, and a lot of good details, you know. Beautiful. Beautiful bait. Yep.
How do people find that? Wanted to order some?
I mean, just go to Nishine Lure Works page in the internet, or Taco Warehouse. They bring in those products. Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem. Nishine Lure Works.
Hey folks, I'm at the Z-Man booth. Jose here is going to talk about the Tungsten Evo.
All right, so we have the new Tungsten Evo by Z-Man, and what the key thing about this is it has increased feel. This is a solid tungsten chatterbait head, so it's not epoxy tungsten.
Say it's going to thump harder.
It's gonna thump harder. You're gonna feel the thumps way better because lead is a soft metal. Tungsten is an incredibly hard metal. So when this is vibrating through the water, that feel gets transmitted through the rod to your hand. It doesn't matter if you're fishing a glass rod or straight fluoro. What you're gonna feel like you're fishing a carbon rod or a graphite rod from fishing this bait. So it gives you an enhanced feel, and also the sound is different. It's not making all the other bladed jigs out there sound like a bladed jig with lead, but because we're changing the head, this is going to have a completely unique sound that's going to allow you to distinguish yourself. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, it'll carry further, and also, like, the other nice thing about it is it stays down deeper longer. So your runway of usable depth is longer with this bait compared to the previous ones.
Nice. What weights does it come in?
So we have it in 3/8 and a half.
Okay.
And in a variety of the colors. Same features as our old Evo, but just updated in this pure tungsten head.
Do you have any that have any gold in it?
Yes, we do. So I believe there is gold blade here with the.
Where are you from? I live in Wiley. I'm in Dallas.
Looks like it's got some chartreuse and then a greenback, and it doesn't show up as gold, but that's a gold blade.
Yeah, it's hot snakes in color.
Yep.
I know those.
That looks like a gold blade.
That is also. And then we have some copper blade options as well.
Yeah. I know a lot of people like, in last year's Evo release, those copper blades were popular.
A good addition. The other cool thing is that we have epoxy in the blade. So I have a sample here that Stephen Browning brought me this. He said he's caught over 150 fish on it. He retired it. But what do you notice about that blade after 150 fish? The paint's still on.
I know, I was going to say, you're only missing like one little bit of paint. That's amazing. That's unusual.
Yeah, and then the other kind of cool thing about it, again, this thing's been fished a lot, but instead of it wearing
I was 1 second away from that, and I was like, the paint is like that. That's amazing.
And you'll see it starts wearing, the material's so hard, it doesn't dent. It starts wearing grooves on the blade. So it actually dings the blade, but keeps this completely from getting deformed. Like generally on a lead version of our Evo or any other chatterbait, you'd see little indentions where the head contacts, the blade contacts the head.
So a lot more durability and good finish.
Absolutely.
Very nice. Thanks, Jose. All right, I'm at the Bonafide booth with
Hans Newts.
What's up, Hans?
How are you?
Good. I want you to tell me about your new boat here.
The XTR 130.
XTR 130.
Okay. What do you want to? How do you want to do this? You want to just? We'll just.
Where did the idea for this start?
It's been a boat I've wanted to do for a long time. So I feel like I say that a lot because I'm always working on ideas like this. So I guess that's it. But I would say maybe 7 or 8 years ago, I sketched out an idea for a fully decked kayak for a single angler, and I was like, I would love to do this, but how do I do it? And I think like the combination of batteries, motors, just the sort of how we view these things, it's come far enough now that it felt like we could finally do it.
Right.
And that really was it. Like if I had done it back then, which it wouldn't have worked, it would have been like
Ahead of its time.
yeah, it just wouldn't have worked. So now it's I think we can imagine it enough that we can, when we see it, we're not like, what did you do? It's more like, oh, it makes sense now. Does that make sense?
It does.
Yeah.
Walk me through some features.
Okay. All right. Because this is a big kayak or a small boat, some of these things have moved around. So the deck has a lot of structure in it. It's scuppered so that it can have a lot of extra structure for 700 pounds of capacity. And the seat is now on rails, which that's nothing new, but it's something that at Bonafide I've typically kept the seat in a single position or a high-low position, but this seat is fully on rails. And this is our own heavy-duty seat base. So this seat base has it has a swivel built to it, and then the Millennium seat, 360 swivel seat up top. And then our seat base also has a rail system below, so that a junk drawer will come with this as well. So you have storage below as well as above.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's really nice. And I guess the big thing, there's two really big things about this boat. One is that the A seat can be added up front. So you can push the seat you have to the back, and you can add an additional seat. It's the same seat, but you can bolt it on up front, and it becomes a tandem kayak. And so you can turn it from being a solo kayak into a tandem in just a matter of minutes. And so you can see here that it just bolts on with quarter 20 knobs up front, and they're designed to sit on the well.
Okay.
So that is one of the really cool features. And then if we were looking at the other boat over here, there is a decked part of the boat that bolts on, and that's the deck that you could either stand on or use it to land fish, or you could sit on it, whatever you want to do. It's the whole, it sort of completes the deck.
Okay.
So a couple of things that are kind of cool, like this whole area is wide open for standing. If you take a wave over the bow, we have scuppers designed up at the top so it drains out, so it gets water away from your deck quickly. So that's kind of cool. We have rigging plates, our power link system. We have one at the bow. We have one in the well in here. And see if you can see it. Yep, there's your second power link. And you can rig all of that through this front storage. Somebody's been in here messing around, but there's a computer plate, and then you can run all your wiring right in through the power link. Right there. So you have one in the bow, one in the well, and then you have two in the midship area right by the seat. So again, you can send more wires back this way. This is an aux beam controller that has been wired for lights and for controlling the monitor. So that makes four, and then you have a fifth opening at the back, which is our hatch, and that allows you to wire as well if you want to run batteries bow and stern. So there's really like 3 battery locations in this boat that you can put the bigger batteries in.
Gotcha. Motorization options. You got the tiller import back here.
So
you can put
tiller.
You got one down here with more traditional.
That's right. The traditional mount runs to foot steering. The tiller motor. So those are your stern mount. And then of course you got the bow mounted versions as well. The foot control steering is designed for like a solo setup. So if you're running by yourself, you can steer from your feet. If you want to steer from your feet and run a tandem version, you can push the seat back here and you can run the brackets off of these rails and add foot steering off of the rails. So that's more options for how to steer the boat hands-free, like truly hands-free. Because I love stern, the stern motors for sort of how I like to do it. So that's what I do. But there are a lot of options for like how to balance the boat with batteries, tackle, and all of that. And then I have this set up in a way that I would want to do it in tandem. Is we have the ICAST rod stagers here, and they're a part. The boat actually has the feature molded into it, so you could take the ICAST lock and load base and mount it straight to the boat, and then add those rod stagers. So that's really nice because if you're fishing tandem, it's nice to have stuff out to the side of the boat. So
Talk to me about just some specs, length, width, weight, capacity.
Capacity is 700, probably more, but 700 is what we're saying. It's 12.7 in length, 40 inches, a little over 40 inches in width. That capacity runs really far up, all the way to the back, so it's a very stable capacity. It'll be $27.99. We'll be shipping in October, and it's also been designed really for trailering, so I think that's something that's pretty important because obviously a boat this size, it's 165 pounds, including the seat, 150 without the seat. So it's not bad, but if you're gonna do that plus gear, probably you're gonna put it on a trailer. So I've designed the hull so that it rides on a trailer really well. And then there's also a tow loop up here, so you can pull it up to a trailer. You can see that. So you actually have the tow loop, the trailer, grab handle, and grip spots up here, so you can grab the boat and lift it. So just some different ways of moving it around.
Very cool.
So that's that.
Again, like I said yesterday, innovative. Like these are a bunch of things that have not been done in kayak fishing.
And being able to put a deck on a boat that you can truly stand on, that was a goal that I had wanted to see happen for a long time. I'm just really excited that we got to do it, and here it is.